Whoa, that's pretty scary. In this video, we're going to talk about axle articulation, what it is, why it's important, and how you can assure that you get good articulation. If you own a new Jeep that's not a Rubicon, since Rubicons have sway bar disconnects, you need to address the issue of axle articulation. Axle articulation allows the tires to stay in better contact with the ground. It increases traction and also makes the vehicle a lot more stable.
Yeah, you know I bought the time and I never waste. Got to shake.
Articulation is the movement of the axles so the tires can move up and down through full travel. Sway bars control body roll. Sway bars also limit axle articulation. The rear sway bar on a Jeep Wrangler is pretty soft, so it's not an issue, but the front sway bar is a big issue, as you can see in some of these videos. Lifting tires off the ground creates a very unstable feeling, which is very uncomfortable, but it also has a tendency to make the vehicle not only feel bad, but you're losing traction, and that can cause problems. In extreme cases, it's even possible to have a rollover. So axle articulation is really very, very important. The way you get better axle articulation is to disconnect the front sway bar. If you own a Rubicon, you have a sway bar disconnect that allows you to do that from inside the vehicle. If you don't have a Rubicon, you need to be able to disconnect the front sway bar, and that requires quick disconnect end lengths to allow that sway bar to be disconnected and the axle to have full motion. There are several types of sway bar disconnects on the market. They're fairly inexpensive, and in reality you can disconnect the sway bar with a couple of wrenches, especially on the newer Jeeps. It's a little bit more work. You have to use wrenches to disconnect a couple of bolts, but that allows you to tie up the sway bar so that it's no longer functioning. And you want to reattach it when you're driving on the highway, because driving on the highway you need that little control to keep the vehicle stable on the highway. But when you're driving off-road, especially in rutted conditions, and this isn't a matter of whether you're going to be driving on Black Diamond difficult trails, but rutting can occur on even the easiest trails, and you want to be able to have those axles articulate over the bumps, ruts, and humps so that you're not having that disconcerting feeling of the vehicle teeter-tottering or a wheel lifting way off the ground like you've seen in some of the clips here. So it's very important to keep that in mind and to get that equipment. In another video we'll show you how to disconnect the sway bars if you don't have a Rubicon. We just purchased a new 2020 Jeep Wrangler Jail Unlimited Sport S that does not have sway bar disconnects, and in the course of doing this video we actually disconnected the sway bar to see the difference, and it makes a huge difference. All of that tire lifting and that teeter-tottering that you see on the dark green Jeep totally goes away when that front sway bar is disconnected. So it's really important to do that. Some of the scenes you see here are vehicles that are either Rubicons with a sway bar disconnect or vehicles equipped with the RockJock by John Curry AntiRock Sway Bars, which do not need to be disconnected to get full articulation. Axle articulation is very important, as you can see here, and getting that full travel in both front and rear axles gives you better ride quality, much better contact, tire contact with the ground, and a much more secure feeling when you're driving off-road. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.